The 20 most racist celebrities in Hollywood history. Hollywood's golden age wasn't so golden for everyone. While the silver screen shined with glamour, behind the scenes, some of its biggest stars held views that were anything but admirable. Racism, discrimination, and prejudice ran deep. Some celebrities even used their fame to promote hate. From supporting segregation to justifying genocide. 1. Walter Brennan. Walter Brennan was one of Hollywood's most decorated actors, winning 3 Academy Awards in the 1930s and 1940s. But behind the cameras, he was anything but a hero. During the civil rights movement of the 1960s, Brennan actively opposed racial equality. He claimed African Americans were being manipulated by communist troublemakers, and even celebrated violent events like the Watts riots. He wasn't just a man of words. He supported political figures like Barry Goldwater, who fought against the Civil Rights Act. Those who worked with Brennan described him as an unfiltered, loud racist who never hid his beliefs. Number 2. John Wayne. The name John Wayne is synonymous with rugged masculinity and Western films. But beneath that tough guy persona lay disturbing beliefs that have aged horribly. In a 1971 interview, Wayne openly admitted. Wayne also justified the near genocide of Native Americans, saying it was necessary for survival. Even when it came to Hollywood, he criticized actors like Kirk Douglas for playing sensitive roles, believing it went against his rigid, old-school view of masculinity. Even decades later, attempts to defend Wayne were shut down by his own recorded interviews, exposing the deep-rooted racism that shaped his career and beliefs. Number 3. Henry Ford. You might not think of Henry Ford as a Hollywood figure, but his influence reached far beyond automobiles. Ford wasn't just prejudiced. He actively funded anti-Semitic propaganda on a massive scale. Through his newspaper, the Dearborn Independent, Ford spread conspiracy theories, blaming Jewish people for global problems. His hateful ideas were so widespread that they inspired Adolf Hitler, who called Ford a personal hero. Ford even funded private spies to monitor Jewish communities, making it clear that his racism wasn't just talk. It was an operation. Number 4. Clark Gable. Clark Gable, unlike others on this list, Clark Gable wasn't consistently racist, but his actions tell a complicated story. On the set of Gone with the Wind, he protested when he saw black actors being forced to use separate restrooms. But when the film's premiere took place in segregated Atlanta, his black co-star, Hattie McDaniel, was banned from attending. Instead of boycotting, Gable still showed up. Fast forward to the 1940 Oscars, McDaniel became the first African American to win an Academy Award, but was forced to sit at a segregated table. Did Gable join her? No, his actions showed that while he sometimes spoke up, when it really mattered, he chose Hollywood over true equality. Number 5. Walt Disney. Walt Disney is often remembered as a visionary, but his views on race remain debated. Some former employees accused him of anti-Semitism, pointing to his association with known racists and the presence of Jewish stereotypes in early Disney cartoons. However, Disney also quietly donated to Jewish charities and employed Jewish executives in high positions. Was he truly prejudiced? Or was he just a product of his time? Number 6. James Stewart. Narrator. James Stewart was the embodiment of the American dream, a soft-spoken hero whose on-screen presence radiated warmth and integrity. But behind the scenes, his views on race tell a different story. Woody Strode, a pioneering black actor, recalled how Stewart barely acknowledged him while filming The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, and worse, refused to shake his hand when production wrapped. But an even more shocking moment came during the Jimmy Stewart Show. Stewart allegedly had Strode removed from an episode, objecting to a black actor holding authority over a white character. The role was later given to a white actor instead. Stewart's political ties also raised eyebrows. He worked closely with J. Edgar Hoover, helping the FBI track and blacklist supposed communists in Hollywood. This led to a bitter fallout with his longtime friend, Henry Fonda, who cut ties with him for years. Number 7. Bing Crosby. Bing Crosby had a voice that defined an era, and he played a crucial role in advancing racial equality in Hollywood. In 1936, he ensured Louis Armstrong received equal billing in pennies from heaven, a groundbreaking moment in film history. But Crosby's actions didn't always align with his progressive image. In Holiday Inn, 1942, he performed Abraham in full blackface, an act offensive even by the standards of the time. The entire sequence, featuring black stereotypes and a deeply unsettling juxtaposition of black domestic workers watching white performers, remains one of the most controversial moments in Hollywood history. Despite this, Crosby was a morale booster for U.S. troops and remained one of the most beloved entertainers of his time. But those close to him say he frequently used racial slurs and made offensive jokes, revealing a hidden side of the seemingly wholesome star. Number 8. Vivien Leigh. Vivien Leigh's performance as Scarlett O'Hara in Gone with the Wind is legendary, but the film's portrayal of race left an undeniable stain. The film glorified the antebellum South, portraying slavery as an almost idyllic institution. Leigh's Scarlett used racial slurs and looked down on educated black individuals, reinforcing deeply harmful stereotypes. Her mistreatment of Prissy, played by Butterfly McQueen, wasn't just a character choice. It was part of a broader message that romanticized a dark chapter in American history. Even today, Gone with the Wind sparks debates about its impact on racial narratives in cinema. Number 9. Fred Astaire. Fred Astaire revolutionized dance on film, setting a gold standard for generations to follow. But one routine in Swing Time, 1936, remains a haunting misstep in his otherwise illustrious career. Astaire's blackface performance was meant to honor Bill Bojangles Robinson, a black dance icon. Yet, instead of celebrating Robinson's artistry, Astaire leaned into exaggerated, offensive caricatures that distorted black dance traditions. Ironically, Astaire had been mentored by John Bubbles, a true innovator of tap dance. But instead of paying homage to authentic black artistry, he perpetuated damaging stereotypes, something that continues to cloud his legacy. Number 10. William Frawley. William Frawley, best known as Fred Mertz on I Love Lucy, was a fan favorite on screen. But behind the scenes, he had a reputation that was anything but lovable. Known for his quick temper, heavy drinking, and difficult personality, Frawley often clashed with his co-star Vivian Vance. CBS executives were hesitant when Desi Arnaz suggested him for the role, knowing about his off-screen issues. But what many didn't know at the time was that Frawley's behavior extended beyond being hard to work with. He was also openly racist. He refused to appear in scenes with black actors and regularly used offensive language toward African American staff. While the production team managed to keep most of his behavior under wraps, history has not been as forgiving. 11. Roseanne Barr. Few television comebacks were as spectacular as Roseanne Barr's return with Roseanne in 2018, but fewer still crashed as fast. The revival was a massive success, drawing 25 million viewers for its premiere. However, Barr's career imploded overnight when she tweeted a racist remark comparing Valerie Jarrett, a former Obama advisor, to an ape. ABC reacted immediately, canceling Roseanne the same day. Over 200 people lost their jobs due to the fallout, and consulting producer Wanda Sykes resigned in protest. Barr tried to blame the tweet on the effects of the sleeping pill Ambien, but the excuse fell flat. This wasn't an isolated incident. She had a long history of spreading conspiracy theories and making inflammatory statements. The backlash was swift and unforgiving, and her attempts to rehabilitate her career failed. Barr went from TV royalty to an industry pariah in the span of a single tweet. 12. Paula Deen. Paula Deen was once one of the most beloved chefs on television, with cookbooks, restaurants, and a successful Food Network career. But in 2013, her empire crumbled when it was revealed that she had used racial slurs and planned a plantation-style wedding where servers would dress as slaves. The revelations, which surfaced during a lawsuit deposition, sparked widespread outrage. The Food Network immediately dropped her, and major sponsors like Smithfield Foods and Walmart severed ties. Deen's attempts at damage control, including tearful apologies and appearances on talk shows, only made things worse. Many felt her explanations lacked sincerity, especially when she blamed her behavior on her Southern upbringing. The controversy permanently tainted her brand, and she never regained the trust of the public. 13. Anthony Cumia. Anthony Cumia, co-host of the Opie and Anthony show on SiriusXM, had built a career on shock humor, but in 2014, he crossed the line. After a heated exchange in Times Square with a black woman who objected to having her photo taken, Cumia unleashed a barrage of racist tweets. His comments were so extreme that SiriusXM fired him almost immediately. Cumia refused to accept responsibility, arguing that his tweets weren't broadcast on the air and therefore shouldn't have cost him his job. But in the age of social media, words can be just as powerful as anything said on live radio. His firing served as a stark reminder of how reckless online behavior can destroy a career in an instant. 14. Don Imus. Don Imus had a long career as a radio host, but one comment ended it all. In 2007, after the Rutgers women's basketball team lost their championship game, he referred to the predominantly black players as nappy-headed hoes on air. The backlash was immediate and severe. Major sponsors like Staples and Procter & Gamble pulled their ads, and the team held a press conference condemning his remarks. One player, Kevon, poignantly stated, "That's not what I am." Imus initially defended himself by claiming his show was meant to insult everyone. But this time, it wasn't just offensive, it was career-ending. His suspension soon turned into a permanent firing, showing how quickly public outrage can dismantle even the most established figures. 15. Megyn Kelly. Megyn Kelly's transition from Fox News to NBC was meant to be a fresh start, but it ended in disaster. In 2018, during a discussion on her morning show, she questioned why blackface in Halloween costumes was considered offensive, even saying it was okay when she was a child. Her remarks sparked immediate backlash, with even her own NBC colleagues condemning her. Kelly apologized the next day, but the damage was done. NBC, already dealing with her struggling ratings, canceled her show shortly after. This wasn't her first brush with controversy. Back in 2013, she made headlines for insisting that both Jesus and Santa Claus were white. But this time, her words proved too costly, and NBC paid her a reported $69 million to leave. Her departure became one of the most expensive missteps in TV history. Hollywood is a land of glitz, glamour, and untold scandals. Some stars shine brightly, while others find their legacies tarnished by controversy. From shocking revelations to career-ending scandals, let's uncover the hidden truths behind some of the entertainment industry's most infamous falls from grace. 16. Katharine Hepburn. Katharine Hepburn, an icon of strength, independence, and talent. With 4 Academy Awards for Best Actress, she's one of the most celebrated figures in film history. But there's a side to her legacy that rarely gets discussed. During World War II, from 1941 to 1945, Hepburn actively supported Hollywood's anti-Japanese propaganda efforts. Given that she was raised in a progressive household, her mother a passionate women's rights activist, and her father an advocate for social change, this chapter in her life feels like a contradiction. While her involvement reflected the widespread sentiment of the era, it remains a troubling footnote in an otherwise inspiring career. A reminder that even Hollywood's brightest stars aren't free from the complexities of history. 17. Lea Michele. Lea Michele rose to fame as Rachel Berry on Glee, known for her powerhouse vocals and demanding on-screen persona. But in June 2020, her off-screen behavior took center stage when Samantha Marie Ware, her former co-star, accused her of creating a toxic work environment. The most shocking allegation? Lea reportedly threatened to in her wig, an especially offensive remark considering the cultural significance of wigs in the Black community. Other actors soon spoke out, including Heather Morris and a Broadway performer who called Lea a nightmare. Even background actors claimed she dismissed them as cockroaches. The fallout was swift. Brands like HelloFresh cut ties with her, and her career took a serious hit. Lea later apologized, but the damage was done. Can she ever fully recover from the stain on her reputation? 18. Taylor Selfridge. Taylor Selfridge was just another reality TV star until the internet unearthed her past. In 2012, she posted racist tweets, believing they were harmless jokes. But in 2020, as global protests erupted after George Floyd's death, those tweets resurfaced at the worst possible time. MTV acted immediately, canceling her upcoming Teen Mom Og special and severing all ties. Selfridge claimed she was young and unaware of the harm her words could cause. But the public wasn't forgiving. Her story serves as a stark warning. In the digital age, your past never truly stays buried. 19. Abby Lee Miller. Abby Lee Miller's name was synonymous with dance moms. But in June 2020, her empire crumbled. Former cast member Adriana Smith revealed racist remarks Miller had made, including a degrading comment about growing up in the hood with 8 crayons, compared to her country club life with 64 crayons. Smith also accused Miller of tokenizing black dancers for diversity optics. Lifetime acted swiftly, canceling Miller's new show, Abby's Virtual Dance-Off, and effectively ending her television career. Miller attempted to apologize, claiming ignorance rather than malice. But the floodgates had opened. Other former cast members came forward with similar stories, ensuring her downfall. 20. Hartley Sawyer. Hartley Sawyer, known for playing Ralph Dibny on The Flash, saw his career vanish overnight. In June 2020, tweets from 2012 to 2014 resurfaced, filled with racist, sexist, and homophobic content. Warner Bros. And the CW wasted no time in firing him, stating that they wouldn't tolerate such behavior. Fans pointed out inconsistencies in Hollywood's handling of past controversies, but Sawyer remained silent. Unlike other celebrities who attempted comebacks, he disappeared from the public eye. Will he ever return to Hollywood? Only time will tell. Hollywood loves a redemption story, but not everyone gets one. In an age where past words and actions can come back to haunt you, one thing is clear. Fame may be fleeting, but the internet never forgets. Which of these scandals surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of entertainment.